What's going on, beautiful creatives? It's your girl and Michelle bringing you another episode of Drop That Booty, the show where we give you a valid reason to be nosy as artists come through to drop gems about their creative journey. We got another one for you. Let's go. Today we have with us the First Lady of Crown Dynasty Records. She's a hip hop artist, songwriter, music producer. Sis does it all. Welcome to the show, LaPriest Noir.
Hi, how you doing?
Thank you for coming through. So I want to start off because I see that you're from Flint, Michigan, and you went from Flint to Charlotte. So what caused that transition, and what has it been like for you musically?
Well, I'm from Flint, Michigan, born and raised. I currently stay here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I visited a lot because my sister moved here like 9 years ago.
Okay.
I decided to make that transition, and I've been here ever since. Especially with the situation with the water being bad in Flint, Michigan.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's still bad. It's been bad since 2014. So,
that's crazy. Clearly, it's money to fix everything else, but situations that affect us the most.
right.
And that actually brings me to another thing I noticed is that you're an advocate for different like causes, different things in need. So did you do any advocating for the crisis in Flint with the water?
Yes, I did. Hashtag Flint Water Crisis. I talk about it at every show that I have. I want people to be aware that there is still an issue in Flint, Michigan. What we're in 2020,
Yeah.
and we still don't have clean water. Flint kids, schools still don't have clean water. They're using
Wow.
bottled water to drink and wash up.
Ooh.
Drink, wash up, clean. It's all bottled water. So
Wow.
all of the pipes aren't fixed is clearly an issue. And especially now with COVID-19, I think Flint is probably the sixth state with the highest number of deaths in the
Wow.
United
Okay.
States. You can't really clean or wash your hands. I mean, if you don't have clean
Right.
water. Yeah.
Right. So that's
Yeah.
definitely a message that needs to be out. What other type of things do you advocate for?
I advocate for Black people. That's number
I
one.
hear you.
That's number one. Because too many Black people dying for no
Mhm.
reason and not getting justice for it.
Yeah.
Um, and that's one of the things that I advocate for mostly, like wholeheartedly, is my people. That's the first thing that I advocate for.
Yeah, and well, it didn't just happen, but it's just becoming national news. The case with the mod. Like, what are your thoughts on that? What would you like to see?
Well, I'm not really happy with that situation, and I
Hmm.
feel like it's been taken care of in advance. If there would have been any other people that did that, they would have been in jail the same day.
Yeah,
I'm glad that they're arrested now. Hopefully they prosecute them the proper way and his family gets justice. That's where I am with that. We'll see.
yeah, definitely. Do you ever use your music or creative sense to kind of like get those messages out there, or do you kind of separate the two worlds?
Nah, I don't separate. Nah, that's not
Okay.
me. But when you get me, you get all of me. You get the
Hmm.
hood me. I'm a 100. You get the conscious me. You get
um.
that. Um, but I do have songs that really do talk about that situation. Like Marshall Eagle is a good one.
Hmm.
And then I a freestyle called "I Can't Sleep," and that talks about every situation, not just
Yeah.
Black people, but everything that's going bad right now.
Gotcha. So jumping back to the fact that you came from Flint, Michigan to Charlotte, musically, because I'm assuming that was a more recent move. Musically, what is the differences or similarities being like between the two states?
Um, I would say that it's more of a dirty South feel when I listen to music. I ain't mad. I like all music. I like
Yeah.
everybody style, so whatever. But yeah, when I first came down here and I performed a few times, people was like, huh, like they didn't know how to take me because I was a little different.
Hmm.
But then after a while, then they were like, oh, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? But I think the transition was good, and I think the styles are great, and the meshing of
Hmm.
styles, getting to see different people's way of rapping is great. I mean, I haven't had any issues as far as transitioning over, you know.
Yeah. So did you find yourself switching up like your flow to
Do
going to
that.
the south, or you just kind of
I
remained
got more
yourself?
than one flow. I got more than one flow, so I try to like
Yeah.
tailor it to whatever beat or song that I'm doing it to.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really switch myself up because of where I am. I just like to
Right.
give them 100% of who I am, basically, and then they just take it and do what they want to do with
So how do
it.
you find the confidence to just be you, like without question?
I was born and raised that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My mom, she always told me, be yourself. You're a pretty
Mm.
chocolate girl, Annie. And be yourself. And by the way, my grandfather was a Black Panther, so
Oh,
I
okay.
was taught to speak my mind,
Yeah.
regardless of what the situation is. I'm not afraid to be me, and I never will be, regardless. So that's the reason why.
How else do you feel like that may have affected you growing up with your grandfather being a Black Panther, and that's showing in the fact that you're like strong on advocating for justice and things like that?
I feel like it was a great. I feel like it was great because it gave me the opportunity to learn more about my history.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that we don't learn about in school
Yeah.
until we get older. Most of the times when we go to college, and then we learn, and we're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I didn't know that." I learned it while I was young, growing up. So I knew what my value was for myself. And I feel like it helped me tremendously.
What was a story that you heard from your grandfather or your mother or whoever that kind of stuck out to you and stuck with you as you grew into adulthood?
Well, my mom was born and raised in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Okay.
Grandfather was raised in Detroit. So, um, and when my mom was young, she told me that she went to a school in Louisiana where this white girl spit on her, and I think she
Mm.
like beat the white girl up, and then the clan or somebody came to their house and they had to like
Wow.
move girls. Um, and that kind of stuck with me because I'm like, wow, it's crazy. Like it's 2020, and granted, it's well, some people do get people spitting in their
Yeah.
faces, but granted, it's still happening, and I'm like, well, what steps can we as a people take to
Mm-hmm.
stop happening over and over again? I know, don't run. I
Mm.
know, speak your mind. I know, don't let it happen. Don't let them feel like it's okay. Don't let
Right.
them feel like they're afraid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I am as far as those situations. I'm standing my ground. I'm not running. So, hey, that's what I learned from growing up. Don't run. Don't let them think that it's okay, because if you do that, it's going to continue to happen.
Hey, that's a good message. And it seems like it's something that prepared you because being in the industry, you're a female rapper. Like, even in 2020, it's still scarce to see a lot of female rappers being represented, especially in the industry. It's still like a man's world. So, like, what has that journey been like for you navigating this quote unquote man's world?
Um, I feel like it's been okay because I don't let people pit me against other females.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person that's like, okay, you a female and I'm a female MC. There's plenty of guy female MCs that rap with guy MCs, and there's no problem. They're not
Right.
pitted against each other. What I do is I support other female hip hop artists. Like I'm like, okay, we could do this together. Like it doesn't have to be one person here and then one person here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm all for each other up, and by me building each other up, I don't have the issues of struggling with. I wonder what this person is doing, so I'm gonna switch my
Mm-hmm.
style up so I can be like them, so I can get there. No, I'm gonna be me all the way there. You gonna ride with me or you not? I don't know what other way to do it but to
Yeah.
be myself. And with the guys, same way. Like I don't have any issues with guys. I'm so used to being around a whole bunch of guys,
Gotcha.
and I know how to cut that off real quick. I'm a businesswoman, so I don't. Yeah. So so far for me, it's been okay. It's a little harder because I'm independent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
doing everything myself, but I mean, it's been okay, and I've been getting a lot of good feedback. And all I can say is, you just have to be strong if you're going to be in the industry. If that's something that you want for yourself, you have to work at it, work hard, and be ready to grind. Because if you don't grind, you're not getting nothing. You're not getting nothing out of it. So.
Right. So do you have an example of where, maybe a guy or someone, another rapper or a guy in the industry's tried to pitch you into a corner and you had to, let them know what's up? Do you have any examples of
I
stories
never
like
had that
that?
problem.
Oh,
I ain't never
okay.
had that problem. They like that girl. I ain't messing for her. Most of the time, wives are a little intimidated by me. I don't know
Really?
why. so down to earth, but I guess my face is just like, I ain't
They ain't coming.
yeah.
All right. So one of the things I saw in one of your posts is that you described yourself as an underrated independent female artist. Why is that?
I describe myself as an underrated female hip hop artist because I don't feel like a lot of people know me. Know me. I mean, I'm
Mm-hmm.
starting to more people from the industry that's starting to get to know me a little more.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like because because the topics that I rap about, um, which most of the times are conscious and sometimes they a little hood and gangster,
Mm.
but I don't feel like they really gravitate to that. They're starting to gravitate to it now because there's not a lot of female hip hop artists that's out that's conscious, except for like Rhapsody and
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean, and she dope. I love Rhapsody.
Yeah.
But like most of the female artists that are out, and I'm not trying to downplay no artists. I mean, you rap what
Mm-hmm.
you want to rap, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I think, but most of the female artists that are out are mostly like dance, like the music that they talk
Gotcha.
about, dance. They dance artists. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm an artist that's like more street, more conscious. I would say just I'm like a female Nas. I'm gonna just say that. You know
Okay.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm a conscious rapper, but then I rap about street stuff too. You know, and that's
Gotcha.
why I call myself underrated. I call myself underrated. Hopefully one day I won't feel like I'm underrated, but
Uh.
I'm glad that I feel that way because it makes me push myself even more. I'm really hard on myself, and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people don't feel that way about me, but I do. So that's something that I'm going to continue to feel until I get to where I want to be personally. So that's why I say I'm underrated.
Gotcha. So you named Nas as like someone you kind of mirror yourself after or kind of see yourself in. And I saw that you also named some other heavy hitters that, you are inspired by. It included Lauryn Hill, Mary J. Blige, and we already said Nas. What is it about those artists or their artistry that you gravitate to?
The realness,
Mm.
the realness. You know what I mean? Like they talk about real stuff.
Yeah.
It's not just the club scene. It's not just the club scene. It's like real life stuff, like stuff that's really happening. And that's why I gravitate to them so much. Lauryn Hill, she talks about real stuff.
Yeah.
Nas, he talks about you get what I'm saying? So I
Mm-hmm.
think that's why I gravitate to them because I feel like the music industry and our kids, the future, need to
Mm-hmm.
hear real, they need to hear real stuff. You know what I mean? They need
Yeah.
to know what's going on in the world
Yeah.
besides club.
Right. So that makes me think. It was a while ago, I believe Cardi B made the statement. She was shouting out a few other female rappers that aren't mainstream and kind of pointing out the fact that the industry and the consumer tend to go more towards the sexualized and they don't take in the other concepts of hip hop. What do you think about that? And is that one reason you might be independent now or would stay independent? Or do you see yourself kind of moving into the industry also?
I've been offered industry spots.
Mm.
No, now I want to be independent, and I want to be independent because
Uh-huh.
I know my.
Gotcha.
Do you understand? I know my work, and I do understand where Cardi B is coming from. That, and that is totally true.
Mm-hmm.
It's sex sells.
Yeah.
Um, and I can be sexy, but I'm still gonna speak my mind. I'll be sexy fitted from head to toe. I'm gonna look sexy on the stage,
Uh,
but you're gonna hear.
yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she's totally right. She's totally right about that. I just feel like you just need to know how to get it out there. You need to know how to put when to put that out and
Mm-hmm.
when not to put that. You know, you have some artists that come out that are conscious or whatever, and then they start out with a club banger, and then they
Mm-hmm.
start putting out what they want people to listen to. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel her on that. That's totally true, and I feel like it's. I'm gonna change that. I'm
I
gonna just
I
say
hear
that.
you. So so like how do you go about deciphering when it's time to put out those different types of music?
So I put out my music based on how I feel sometimes, but lately, lately the songs that I put out have been like club, like street
Mm-hmm.
songs. Like last year I released About Money, and that's like a dancey, fun song. And
Yeah.
then this year I released Who That, and that's talking about snitches. So I mean, like,
Got you.
see, you never know what you get.
Yeah.
But pretty soon I'm gonna be releasing Martial Eagle. Well, they just started spinning that now, but
Hmm.
it's gonna be on all major platforms soon, and that's a conscious song.
Okay.
But you know what? You know what? When you got someone, when you meet somebody or you're talking to somebody, you know this
Hmm.
more than just that one thing that a person represents. You get what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
could be more than one thing. I could be sexy. Hey, I got some sexy songs too. I mean, you know what I mean? Or I could be hood, or I could be conscious. I'm more than one thing. So I don't put
Right.
myself in a box. So I'm not just gonna be a shaky booty rapper. I'm not just gonna be a conscious rapper. I'm not
Hmm.
just gonna be a hood rapper. I'm gonna be what I want to be when I want to be it. So I'm not in box.
Yeah.
So I feel like I don't have an issue with dropping music for everybody because I got something for everybody. I sing too. So
Okay.
you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
have something for everybody. I'm an artist.
I feel you. And I like that. And this is reminding me of one of the lyrics. I don't recall the name of the song, but one of the lines is admit it, they the wave, bitch, I am the sea. And that really stuck out to me for some reason. Like, could you expound on tell me what song that's from and expound on the meaning of that phrase?
They the wave and I'm the sea. That was one of my freestyles. I
Oh,
had to think
okay.
about that was a freestyle that I posted. Um, I said if they the wave, then I'm the sea. What
Yeah.
I'm saying, I'm not riding waves. I'm the sea. Like I'm not trying to be on the same wave with everybody else. I'm being me. I'm me, regardless. Like I don't have to jump on that wave. I don't have to jump on that wave to make it. I don't got to jump on the wave for techno. I don't got to jump on the wave for whatever. I'm the sea. I'm carrying all the waves, so I can do whatever I want to do. Any
Yeah.
kind of music don't matter because that's what I'm saying. I don't inbox myself with one type or one style of music.
That's dope. I think that's what makes you an amazing artist, because a lot of times we get into these artists and we want to see, we get one dimensional, which is kind of what you spoke on earlier. If somebody starts off with a club banger, that's all you want to hear from them, or if they start off conscious, that's all you want to hear. And I hope you do break those barriers, because that will be good to actually see the whole person, the whole artist, and not limit them to like this one sound or this one style of music.
Right.
um
That's
So I have a question for you. Has life ever given you a wake up call as it relates to your career or the industry? Some lessons you've learned through this journey.
I'm gonna just start off by saying I learned lessons really young. When I was 12 years old, my mom was battling breast cancer. She passed away from breast cancer, leaving five of us. At
Wow.
50 years old, I emancipated my dad, and I became independent for myself. And I paid my bills and went to high school and graduated and did all that stuff on my
Wow.
own. I'm a grinder. Like all I know how to do is make it by any means necessary. And that's with life and that's with music. I've been doing music since I was 7 years old. I've
Wow.
done studio music. I have stuff on TV shows. I just try new things. Currently, right now, I'm doing radio, which is something that I've never done before, and I'm
Uh-huh.
still on. But I'm not afraid to try new things, and I feel like it's just my character that gives me that pride. Because when you don't have anyone in your life to help build you, like you lost, then you learn how to be strong for yourself and
Yeah.
just drive push for yourself. And I always tell artists, independent artists, like if you don't grind for yourself, nobody else will. And nobody gonna
Yeah.
grind harder for yourself than you will. And that's just me. That's what I do. And that's the only way that I can really explain it.
Yeah. Well, I want to back up a little bit, because I think that's an interesting point that at 15, you're basically becoming an adult. And I know there's some other people who may be in similar situations. So, like, how did you even start to navigate that as a 15-year-old? You lost your mom, you're emancipating yourself from your dad. Like, what is that like?
It was hard. It was really hard. I would just say it was hard for me, but nothing was harder than losing my mom.
Yeah.
So like once you lose your mom, and you're never gonna get over it, but
Mm.
you can make it through that. Everything else is easier, and you know what's better for you. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
know what's better for you. And it was a tough road. I mean, but I made it. I'm alive. Ain't
Yeah.
nothing happened to me. I'm dead and I'm breathing. So,
Hey.
so
And I think that's a beautiful thing that you said, not in the situation, but that you said you never get over it. And I think that's something that sometimes people try to do too much, is to try to dismiss it and get over it. But I think sometimes people say that, time heals all wounds. Some wounds won't get healed. You'll just learn to live with them. So hopefully, someone will be inspired by that and not necessarily try to just push it away, but actually be content in the fact that this is what it is, but I can still love them. And, you still have to deal with life as it comes.
right.
So you touched on this. I guess it's still your single about money. Is that your current single, or is it
Well,
switching
my
out?
is who that?
Who that? Okay.
Who that?
So tell me about that song.
So who that is about snitches.
Okay.
And I ain't saying I'm gonna do nothing to no snitches, but what I'm saying is bitch. I mean, if you ain't got nothing, why you in, basically it's about people that's in other people's business that talk
Gotcha.
about other people. It was just a topic that I just felt like writing about and I wrote about it and
Um,
that was that.
have you run into any of those problems on social media with having to deal with people who are being too nosy and getting in your business, or dropping in inboxes and, slipping in the DMs that you don't want in there?
I do get DMs and I do get people that talk about me, but I don't let it bother me and I don't
Mm-hmm.
say anything to those people. But if something does get under my skin, I
Mm-hmm.
tell them that I'm all about uplifting and hopefully they are too. And
Okay.
they usually get the picture. I don't ever go tit for tat with people. I
Mm-hmm.
just let people see who I am as they watch me, and then as they watch me, then they get it. But I'm not. I don't have time to worry about what other people are saying about me or what they're doing or inboxing me or typing. I really don't care. All I do is focus and I just keep smiling. Or if they say something, I'd be like, "Oh, that's how you feel. Okay, great. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but maybe in the future you'll see some things a little different." But
Yeah. I think that's a great.
I don't burn bridges with people, and if people decide to burn bridges with me, then sorry.
I was saying I think that's a great stance to have, because now we have, and no slight to them, Summer Walker and I can't remember the other young lady's name on J. Cole's label, who have a tendency to get into their feelings, and I can kind of get it because there's so many people coming at you. But what advice would you have for people, because you have such a strong demeanor and not letting stuff get to you? What advice would you give to some people in that situation?
Well, like I put in one of my old posts, I think I might have put it in one of my old posts. Um, Stop making everything a competition. Focus on
Hmm.
you. Compete with yourself. Make your money. That's it. That's
Yeah.
all you doing. It's a job. You go to work. You're not gonna argue with the person you working with. You're gonna make your money, right? You ain't gonna let them stop you from having your job, right?
Right.
Right. So you
Cool.
ain't stopping my money because we going tip for tat. I'm gonna just tell you. You
Yeah.
go ahead, talk tip for tat. Do that. Do what you do. Do what you gonna do, and
Mm.
then we'll take care of it later. But I'm not gonna say your name. I'm not gonna put you in my song.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be on Twitter fingers. None of that.
So we'll never
So
see you in the beef battle. You'll never do a beef single.
a beef battle.
Whatever they
Oh, you
call it.
mean like against somebody? You
Um
mean like rap spitting against somebody like a somebody come for me?
yeah.
I don't know. I ain't never had that problem. I ain't never had that problem. I mean, if you want to, I mean, you could try it. Hey, that's all. Hey, that's practice. That's all practice for me. So I
Yeah.
mean, if somebody ever try to do like a beef battle song or something about me, then I'll do some music with them. I ain't gonna say your name in a whole rap though, but you gonna know
Yeah.
who I'm talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, but I don't feel like people should waste their energy on that. I mean, if
Yeah.
y'all doing it just for like to get y'all name out or whatever, okay, I got you. And y'all both trying to make bread, I
Mm.
got you. But like, I'm not giving my energy to people like that. But I am gonna let you know though. I will
Mhm.
spit some. I'm gonna let you know what I'm talking about. but I'm
Yeah.
not. But I'm not building you when you trying to knock me down. So I ain't gonna say your name.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. That's reminded me of Michelle Obama's when they go low, we go high. So that's kind of your mentality for everything.
Yep.
Got it. All right. So to wrap this up, my last question for you is we're still in the midst of the pandemic. North Carolina just opened up this past weekend, probably just from other states so people could shop. Hopefully people go back inside. But I think a lot of us are starting to realize things will never be the same. You know, people keep saying, I can't wait till things go back to normal, and there's going to be a new normal now. Like, it'll never be the same. So how are you preparing for this new world we'll be entering?
Masked up. Wear the mask when you go out. Make sure you washing your hands. Keep your distance. Um, pray about it. You know what I mean? And just hope for the best. I mean, everything and nothing in life ever stays the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes you just have to gravitate or change how you do things. I mean, we might have to wear masks every time we walk out the house until they find a cure, but that shouldn't make you afraid to do things. Now, I'm not saying it's okay that they open malls like last Friday because
Yeah.
no, casket shirt. You know what I mean? Like it's not
Yeah.
that serious because I feel like the same places that you go into the mall to go buy stuff from, those big stores, big chains, they actually have online stores you can order that stuff.
True.
My thing is if you need something, order it. If you need a haircut, I don't know what to tell you if you don't got like November. But black girls, y'all know what to do. Anybody, y'all know what to do. Do your own hair. I mean,
Yeah.
they used to do that in the old day. Do your own nails. My nails ain't done right now, y'all. Look, I appreciate the house. I'm not going to go get my nails. It's not that serious. Me
Yeah.
being sick for some nails is not that serious. But all I would say is just make sure that you keep your mask on. Make sure you get that elderberry. Keep the immune system up. And wash your hands. That's it. Just wash your hands. Other than that, I mean, that's it.
Have you had to change your style creatively, like to adjust to the new normal or doing more stuff online?
Well, of course, most of the people in the industry are doing a lot of stuff online just to stay relevant. I usually don't be online that much unless like
Okay.
I'm on but I'm working on that. So I've been doing it more since then, since that. As far as like my music and stuff, I just record myself at home upstairs in my studio right now.
Gotcha.
So I can get to where I need to be, and then as far as shows, I'm just chill on that right now too. But we'll see. I'm not gonna stop making music though.
Yeah.
This like well, all of this free time being stuck in the house. I mean, you have plenty of opportunity to continue to create as an artist. So that's what I've been doing.
All right. And is there anything else you just want to let the people know? Tell us about your radio show you're working on.
Oh, so recently I just started hosting on my 704 hip hop radio on Live 365 through JJ Solomon and Franklin. And right now we play indie artists. So it's an indie artist radio station, and I host it, and we just make sure that our indie artists are being heard and they're getting those spins. We also do interviews too. And I've only been doing that for 4 days now.
Okay.
So it's on every day at 8 p.m. And usually I go on my live once I get everything, all the kinks out. But I'm going to on my Instagram live, on my Facebook live, and then live on the radio.
All right.
On My Hip Hop 704.
My Hip Hop 704?
On Live 365. So only thing you have to do is download the Live 365 app and then go to My 704 Hip Hop, and then you'll hear me at 8 o'clock from 8 to 9.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode. I appreciate you coming through.
Thank you so much for having me, and I can't wait to see some more of your shows.
Oh, same. I can't wait to see some more of your stuff. Thank you.